the Apache Junction Multi-Generational Center. Today, we are going to be doing about 20 to 25 minutes of foam rolling to help out our runners, but you don't have to be a runner to do this class or to do foam rolling, which foam rolling is also known as myofascial release, which is just pressure on the muscles and on the tendons to help flush them and create better health for your body. So, as a runner, I know that a lot of us have feet issues, so we're going to start with the feet and then move up. Optimally, you'd like to do about 30 seconds to a minute on each body part. Today we'll be doing about 30 seconds. So, all you need to do to start is a ball. So I have several different kinds of balls. I've got these like tiny little balls, like a super ball. This one's great. You can get this as a big 5, these two a big 5. You could even just use a tennis ball, and that's for our footwork. And then we're going to use most of the class, we're going to use one of these foam rollers. And the foam rollers come in this length or the shorter length. It's just whatever you prefer. All right, so let's get started with the feet, and we're going to use a smaller ball than the feet. So just take your small ball, either the super ball or your tennis ball, and just step on the ball and start by rubbing back and forth on the front of the foot, just underneath the toes. Now, if you have a bigger ball, that's pretty easy to do too. Just back and forth, just underneath the toes. You can hang out there. If you find a sore spot, just lean into it, keeping the heel down. It's a little more stable. And you actually also get a really good stretch for your calf. So then move further down the foot to the arch of the foot, stepping on it. You're going to find some tender spots, so breathe. After rolling a little bit back and forth, and find the spot that's tender, and just hang on that one for about 5 to 10 seconds. And then all the way to the heel. The heel is easier to get with a smaller ball. Back and forth on that heel. Again, breathing. Good. And that is about 30 seconds. Let's get to the other foot. Again, starting with whatever size ball that you have, just underneath the toes. Back and forth. You'll be surprised about how many sore spots you find there. Then moving to the arch of the foot. All the time breathing. I like that bigger ball for the arch of the foot because that helps stretch the calf. Then moving on all the way to the heel. You might need to hold on to something for some balance. Getting that heel as well. Awesome. Great job. All right, and they have lots of different types of balls. You can even get a half ball, cut the tennis ball in half and use it that way so it's a little more stable. You can have bigger balls, and that's great too. All right, so we're going to move on to the calves. You're going to come down onto the floor, placing the foam roller just underneath your ankles. And here, I like to do one at a time. So I'm going to start with my left calf, and I'm just going to slide along the floor back and forth, and you're going to find some spots. It's good to have the other leg on top of it, and that adds some pressure. Again, once you find a spot, you can hang out on that spot and go back and forth on that spot that's a little bit tender. Turning your foot in and turning your foot out. It's helpful to be on a slippery floor so you can see I'm kind of sliding on the floor, and that helps too. Good, so that's the one side. Let's try the other side. One ankle on top of the other side, crossing it over, and just roll back and forth. Turning the foot in. Oh, there's a spot. Holding it on the spot. Breathing. And then turning the foot out. Rolling on until you find another spot. And breathe and hold. And again here, you can turn through the ankle, and that helps get you deeper into that sore spot to help it release out. We're going to move on to the hamstrings, the back of the legs. These are much easier and much more targeted if you use a ball. However, not everyone has a softball size ball, but you can use a softball size ball to target the hamstrings. Again, crossing one leg over on top of the other, lifting your seat up and getting through to the hamstring. Back and forth is fine, especially if you're feeling that it's pretty tender. Just getting the back of the leg, again, turning the knee in, turning the knee out, getting different areas of that hamstring. And it's really good to get it up on the top where the hamstring attaches. So you can sit up on that foam roller, lean over, and you can really feel the top of the hamstring there, and hold. It's great to do foam rolling before you stretch, or even, say you're gonna stretch out your calves, roll your calves first, and then stretch them. It makes an amazing difference. Let's go to the other hamstring. So again, crossing one leg on top of the other, having your hands behind you, and rolling back and forth. So you're actually even working your abdominals here as you're holding your body up. So if you get tired, you can always lay down, and that you can just hold it like that, and that still is a good triggering of the hamstring here, moving back and forth. If holding yourself up gets to be a little too challenging. Breathe. Finding those spots on that hamstring. Again, you can be upright, pushing the hands into the floor. But honestly, this feels really good here too. The lazy foam roller is not really that lazy. Breathe. And again, really come to the top. Don't neglect to get the top. Here, it feels really good to be lifted up, pressing my heel down, and triggering the top of that hamstring in this way as well. But that is challenging to hold if you don't have the strength. So if not, you can go ahead back to the sitting position and trigger that other hamstring, just leaning towards that side. Great. So we're going to move on to the glutes. Sitting onto your foam roller, core is in tight. You're going to cross one leg over the other, working on that left glute first. You're going to lean over towards that left side and just roll back and forth. Breathing. And once again, you'll find a spot that's tender and hold it. Letting that muscle relax. If you feel some tension in your face or other parts of your body, it's good to breathe just a little bit deeper to let your body relax into the roller. Good. We're going to do the glutes on the other side. So, crossing your right leg over, leaning towards the right side, and just back and forth over that right glute. Finding the breath, leaning into that right glute, taking your time. Hold for a second on those spots that are a little more tender, and let your body relax. Good. We're in a good position to get the TFL, the tensor fasciae lata, which is just right here in the front, but is kind of on the side as well. So having done that right glute, you're going to go ahead and lean, roll slightly over, and you're turning your chest forward and getting that little divot just where the hip bone is. So it's just about this long, about 2 to 3 inches, leaning and rolling forward, and you're just going to roll just a tiny bit on that tensor fasciae latae, which is very important to get that area because it helps direct the IT band. A lot of people, a lot of runners have IT band issues, and they'll roll out the IT and it really, really hurts. What really should happen is you should do the tensor fasciae lata first, and then roll out the IT band, if that's for you. There's some controversy on whether it's good to roll out the IT band. I think it's great, but some people think that it's not necessary, and that's way too painful. So after doing the tensor fasciae lata on the right side, we're going to go ahead and switch over to the left side. Again, if you need to find it, again, you're going to get onto that glute and then roll forward slightly, and just you'll feel that just underneath the pelvis bone here, the front of the hip bone. You're going to lean forward, rolling just about those 2 little inches back and forth. Relax. Taking some nice deep breaths. And it's very important to breathe while you're doing this so that it moves the breath through the body and helps keep you relaxed. Because when it hurts, our tendency is to have shallow breathing or hold our breath completely. So relax and breathe. Let it go. Good. Then we're going to roll over onto our bellies to get our quadriceps. Now, it's best to do the quads one at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and do my right quad first, and I'm going to use my left leg as a sort of support. If it's way too intense to do one at a time, you can always do them at the same time to start, which is just coming into a low plank position and rolling back and forth on the quads like so. However, it is better to get them one at a time. So here, I'm going to place the roller just underneath my knee. My left foot is out to the side, and I'm going to roll up towards my chest. Just rolling back and forth, trying to keep my right leg relaxed, and this left leg is here for balance. Breathing nice and deep. Using your core. So again, if you feel like, wow, this is a lot of work, well, you're getting a core workout as well. Back and forth over the quad. And then if you find a spot that's pretty tender, you can hang out there. If you really want to be an overachiever, you can bend and straighten your legs slightly as you're holding that trigger point, or that area that's super sore. Make sure you turn your toe in to get the lateral quad, and then turn the toe out to get the medial quad. Back and forth. Good. Let's switch over to the other side, taking it for the left side. And once again, if at any time it's too much on one, you can always do both legs at the same time. Right leg is out, left leg, you've got the roller just underneath the knee, and you're moving back and forth, breathing as you go to try to release any tension from that quadricep. And again, stop on the spaces that feel a little bit of tension and breathe and relax. Breathe and relax. Again, if you want, you can bend and straighten the leg or even rotate through the hips to try to get into that area a little bit deeper. All the way up and down, and then turn the toe in to get the outside part of the quad. Turn the toe out to get that inside part of the quad. Beautiful. An area that gets really neglected when we run and when we stretch and we do things is our inner thighs. So that is another great place to get with the foam roller. And because it is so sensitive, I'm just going to lay the foam roller between my legs, lay on my side, and just use my hand to roll the foam roller up. And here, you're triggering both the inner thighs at the same time, but you can really feel it just a little bit more on the bottom leg here. So breathe. Bring that foam roller up just as high as it's comfortable. And again, you can bend and straighten the leg, and that gets it a little bit deeper into that area. Good. Getting those inner thighs. We're going to do the other side. Again, you're targeting the leg that's on the bottom. Lay on the side. And then just use your hand to slowly move that foam roller up. Again, hanging out on those tender spots, rolling back and forth. Rolling back and forth. You should be starting to feel really relaxed right now because so much blood is flowing into areas that didn't get it before. So if you feel a little sleepy and super relaxed, that's totally normal. Good. We're going to get into 3 areas here. Let's get that ball back. And we're going to use the ball to help trigger the chest because a lot of times, well, all the time when we're running, our hands are moving forward like this and our shoulders tend to round forward. So all of this gets tight through here and a lot of people neglect it. So we're going to use our ball, either the tennis size ball or even one of the smaller balls, and just roll that ball up and down, first the sternum, that is the breastbone, and then on either side, just a little bit to each side, rolling up and down, and then back and forth over that breastbone. You're gonna find, again, super tender spots. You can hold it on one of your tender spots there, and breathe. Oh, it's super relaxing. All right, getting both sides. You might feel more comfortable with a larger tennis ball maybe. All the way up into the front of the shoulder, and that feels amazing to get up into the front of the shoulder. So we've stretched out, or we've released some through the chest, and now we can use the foam roller to open up the chest and open up the thoracic region of the spine. So we're going to take that foam roller and we're going to place it just below the shoulder blades, and we're going to open the chest and really stretch it here. So just underneath my shoulder blades, I'm going to drop my head back gently, tuck my tailbone, letting my back arch here, dropping my head back, and if this is too uncomfortable for you, you can always hold the head, and that is fine as well. But I feel a really good stretch when I let my head come back. Breathe. Then if you're feeling incredible, you can let those arms come out. Breathe. Again, if that's too much hanging your head, you can hold it. If it's too much with your arms out, you can even bring your hands to your head to hold your head here. If you're doing that, you can roll back and forth just about 2 inches here and slowly open the mid-back. Breathe and open. Good. We're going to bring our hands in, chin tucked in towards the chest, and we're going to roll up between the shoulder blades here, and bring it all the way to the neck, letting your head rest on that foam roller. Now that feels amazing. Just resting here, taking some nice long deep breaths. You can even bring the arms out, tucking the shoulders underneath you. That helps open the chest. Then what I want you to do for our last thing, we're going to slowly turn the head to look one direction. And then slowly turn the head to look the other direction. Slowly turn to the first side and rest. Slowly turn to first side and hold. Feel your shoulders relaxing. If you start to feel tension, it might be because you're on a really sore spot, so maybe turn a little bit so you're off of that super sore spot. And we're just relaxing here as we're pressing that foam roller just on that occipital ridge, that back of the head right here. Let it go. Let yourself relax. And finally, let's turn to that other side and hold that second side. You might need to adjust, wiggle around a little bit, finding that sweet spot where you can fully relax in this turned position. Breathe. Great job. Inhale, and then on the exhale, slowly turn your head back into the center. Take another long, deep breath. And then we'll gently and slowly roll to one side, and then put yourself back up in a seated posture. Let yourself take a good 5 long, deep breaths, and let's do that together now. Inhaling through the nose. Inhale, exhaling through the mouth. Good. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. 3 more just like that. Inhale, nice and long. Exhale, relax. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one here. Inhale. Hold the breath in for just a moment. And then exhale. Feeling your body relaxed. Make sure to move a little through your hands, a little through your shoulders, a little in your body before you get up. Thank you so much for joining me for this short time, and I encourage you to do this as much as possible.